Meeting Queen Cleopatra by Ngamoko Nikora. Chapter 1. A new adventure begins. Tom, Mark and Tipo had barely returned from their thrilling journey to Tudor England when they found themselves drawn to the old oak tree once again. The boys had spent countless hours recounting their adventures, but a strange feeling tugged at Tom's heart, an itch for another adventure. "I wonder if we can find the portal again," he said, glancing up at the ancient tree branches stretching like arms into the sky. Mark nodded eagerly. "This summer isn't over yet. We might as well give it a shot." Tipo, biting into a snack of dried fruits, chimed in. "I could use more excitement. Last time was epic." As the boys approached the hollow at the base of the oak, a familiar breeze swirled around them. The world seemed to dissolve again as colours whirled, enveloping them in a shimmering light. When they finally emerged, they found themselves standing on a golden sand dune. The sun blazed overhead, and the boys shielded their eyes, squinting to take in their new surroundings. "Where are we this time?" Mark asked, brushing sand off his arms. "Looks like Egypt," Tipo exclaimed, his voice rising with excitement. In the distance, grand pyramids loomed against the blue sky, and the faint sound of water could be heard nearby. "Let's go, check it out," Tom urged, leading the way, hearts racing with anticipation. Chapter 2. The Nile River. As the boys trekked closer to the river, they marvelled at the lush greenery that hugged the banks of the Nile. The air smelled earthy and rich, filled with the sounds of birds singing and the rustling of palm leaves. "Look over there," Mark pointed toward a group of people gathered on the river bank. As they approached, they realized it was a bustling marketplace filled with traders selling spices, textiles, and handcrafted jewellery. "Excuse me," Tom called to a nearby vendor, a tall man with a neatly trimmed beard. "Can you tell us where we are?" The vendor chuckled. "You are in the heart of ancient Egypt, my friends. This market is the crown jewel of Alexandria. But beware, it is not only the merchants who rule here. The mighty Queen Cleopatra reigns from her palace." "Cleopatra?" Tipo gasped, eyes wide with wonder. "We have to meet her." "Good luck," the vendor smirked. "Only a brave soul would dare approach the Queen without a proper audience." Determined, the boys began asking around, hoping to gather information on how to find the Queen. Chapter 3. The Royal Invitation. After wandering through the market, they overheard whispers about a grand festival being held at the palace in honour of the Nile. "Tomorrow, all are invited to witness the festivities," said a woman selling colourful scarves. "A festival? That's our chance," Tom exclaimed. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, the boys made their plans. Feeling brave, they decided to join the bustling crowd at the palace the next day and try to catch the attention of the Queen. Chapter 4. The Festival. The following morning the sun shone brightly and excitement buzzed in the air as people flocked to the palace. Colourful banners adorned the entrance and musicians filled the space with joyous melodies. Tom, Mark and Tipo squeezed through the crowd, eyes sparkling with wonder. Dancers adorned in shimmering costumes twirled gracefully, and fragrant dishes filled the air with mouth-watering aromas. "Wow, look at all this," Mark exclaimed, eyes darting from one display to the next. Suddenly, a booming voice rang out, "Welcome, welcome to the Festival of the Nile." All heads turned to see a magnificent chariot approach, charioted by 2 horses and adorned with golden trimmings. It carried a woman of breathtaking beauty. Queen Cleopatra herself. Her regal attire shimmered in the sunlight, and her dark, flowing hair was accentuated by intricate golden jewellery. The crowd cheered, but the boys stood mesmerised, unable to take their eyes off her. Chapter 5. The Queen's Challenge. After her grand entrance, Cleopatra addressed the crowd. "Let us celebrate our great river, a source of life, but I need 3 brave souls to assist me in today's festivities. Who will accept the challenge?" The moment lingered, and the boys shared glances filled with excitement and trepidation. "I think we should do it," Tipo urged, his eyes shining with enthusiasm. "Us?" Mark said, his heart racing. "She wouldn't even notice us." But Tom, filled with determination, stepped forward. "We will help you, Your Majesty," he called out, his voice steady despite the butterflies in his stomach. The crowd fell silent and then erupted into whispers. Cleopatra's gaze turned to Tom, a sly smile playing on her lips. "Very well, brave one. Come forward, along with your friends." As the boys approached the Queen, Cleopatra gestured towards a wooden platform nearby. "You shall compete in 3 challenges. Succeed, and you will be honoured guests at my palace. Fail? Well, let us not think of failure." Chapter 6. The Challenges. The first challenge was a test of agility. An obstacle course involved clay pots, baskets, and a narrow path through the market. "Ready, set, go," Cleopatra declared. Tom dashed ahead, skillfully manoeuvring around the obstacles. Mark followed closely, but Tipo tripped over a basket. Laughing, he quickly got back up and ran to catch up. With cheers from the crowd, the boys completed the course, and the Queen praised their effort. "Now for the next challenge," Cleopatra announced. "We will see who can carry the most items from the market here without dropping anything." The boys grinned, knowing they had the strength of teamwork. They worked together, balancing fruits and textiles as they manoeuvred through the market. With a final push, they made it back, their arms full, and the crowd roared with approval. "Impressive," Cleopatra announced. "Now, the final test, your knowledge of my kingdom." Chapter 7. A Question of Wisdom. Cleopatra posed questions about Egypt's history, its pharaohs, and the mysteries of the Nile. The boys shared what they knew, blending facts from their studies with tales from their imaginations. "Very intriguing. But," Cleopatra raised an eyebrow, "can you tell me about the significance of cats in my kingdom?" Tom hesitated, then spoke up. "Cats were revered as sacred animals associated with the goddess Bastet, who protected the home and family." Cleopatra's eyes twinkled. "You are wise beyond your years, a true testament to your friendship and intelligence." Chapter 8. The royal reward. With the challenges complete and the cheers of the crowd ringing in their ears, Cleopatra smiled broadly. You have proven yourselves worthy. Join me as esteemed guests at my palace. The boys felt their hearts swell with pride as they entered the magnificent palace. They marvelled at the intricate carvings and golden decor, feeling as though they had stepped into a storybook. Rest well, and tomorrow we shall discuss the mysteries of our worlds, Cleopatra said, gesturing toward a grand dining room filled with a feast fit for a queen. Chapter 9. Secrets of the Nile. As they dined, Cleopatra shared tales of her reign, the challenges she faced, and the friendships she valued. She spoke of the Nile not just as a river, but as a lifeblood of her people, entwining the threads of their destinies. Friendship is the greatest treasure, she said, raising her goblet, and my new friends through you come from a different time. You have enriched this celebration. Feeling inspired and eager to learn more, the boys shared stories of their adventures and their world, igniting a spark of curiosity in Cleopatra's eyes. I would love to see the future one day, she mused, and hear of the legends you will create. Chapter 10. A bittersweet goodbye. As days passed in the palace, the boys thrived under Cleopatra's guidance, learning about ancient knowledge and wisdom. But soon, a feeling of longing tugged at their hearts. We can't stay forever, Tipo said one evening, looking out at the Nile. We have our home and friends waiting for us. Tom nodded. We've had an amazing time, but we need to return. The next day, they approached Cleopatra. Your Majesty, Tom began, we must go back to our time. A small frown appeared on Cleopatra's lips, but she quickly composed herself. You have honoured me with your presence, and it is clear you have much to accomplish in your own world. You will always be welcome here, my friends. Under the gaze of the setting sun, Cleopatra led them back to the edge of the Nile. May this river flow with the memories of our time together. You may take a piece of my heart with you. Chapter 11. Homeward Bound. With her blessing, the boys stepped into the shimmering waters of the Nile, and just like before, the colours around them twisted and swirled. With a final flash, they found themselves back beneath the old oak tree. The familiar scent of the forest surrounded them, hearts still fluttering with the magic of their adventure. Did that really happen? Mark asked, laughter bubbling in his voice. Absolutely, Tom replied, filled with joy. We met Cleopatra. Tipo smiled, brimming with excitement, and we have stories to tell. As they walked home, they knew they would always be connected through their incredible adventures. With each step, they felt a little wiser, a little braver, and ready for whatever came next. Because in every journey, no matter how far away, the bond of friendship would always guide them home. The End. Meeting Queen Cleopatra by Ngamoko Nikora. Copyright Ngamoko Nikora. No part or parts thereof of this production shall be reproduced without prior permission of the author.